Hey y'all, I'm gonna try to make this fast. Stella is taking her nap and I don't want to wake her up, but I do want to thank every single one of you for your prayers. I really, really appreciate it. This is my daughter's third baby, and all three have had some form of dramatic, traumatic births. First one was, I've all been bad, and today when her water broke, the umbilical cord started coming out, so they did an emergency C-section, had her put to sleep in like a minute or two. Like, it was so fast. It's been so hard to be here with them and not there with her, but I need to be where I need to be, and with them is where I am. We'll be heading to the hospital in a minute once she wakes up and I get everything packed. So I wanted to talk about Fill Your Freezer Friday, which is not going to happen today, but I did cook all the meat this morning, so I am changing it up just a little bit. I know it's supposed to be everything is don't cook, but I had ground beef on sale locally last week, and so I bought ground beef, and I'm going to make chili. And so what I did today is come out of so many things. Hold on, Riker. I was out of the frozen onions, so I used my chopper and I chopped up 4 big onions. I also added a bag of frozen cauliflower, and then I had some mushroom that needed to be used up as well, and so I used my tiny chopper and chopped those. So all I've done so far is I've cooked up the meat, cooled it, and got it sitting in the fridge. So tomorrow the plan is to get the bags, I've already bags ready, but dump the meat in, add the seasonings, and add anything else, and then I'll show you what I have on the bag. And then I'm going to do a recipe that I don't have on my blog, but it is super simple. You don't need a recipe. I've made this way in the past when my kids were at home, and it's like taco ranch chicken, and all you need is taco seasoning, ranch seasoning, and either like pecani sauce, salsa, or even rotel, and then you can go from there. And then I cooked the pineapple Asian pork loin this week, and I cooked the barbacoa. And if you've been here with me, then you know that I had pulled out a pineapple pork previously, but I wasn't sure exactly what day I had pulled it out on, so instead of risking feeding my family possibly bad meat, I threw it in the trash, and I pulled one out this week, so I now only have 2 left in my freezer, which makes me kind of sad, because it was delicious. We all loved it. It turned out perfect. So the pineapple did not turn out like I was worried, like the Greek chicken did. The Greek chicken, I added the black olives, and I regret adding the black olives to the freezer. I feel like they changed color, and I think the texture was slightly off. But the pineapple Asian pork was perfect. And again, if you don't eat pork, use chicken. If you want, use I'm sure it would taste great with beef, but I have so many other beef recipes that use big chunks of beef that I don't know if I would want to use beef with that. And then my barbacoa. So you know my week has started out with Sunday night, possible water break, and then I forget what other night or day I had them again, because then the contractions were not stopping, and then I've had them again. So it's just been a crazy week. So I had my barbacoa thawed, and we ended up not going to the hospital, and so instead of cooking in my crock pot, I put in my pressure cooker for about 45 minutes, and it was absolutely perfection. It was amazing. Now, again, if you're new here, I have a daughter that moved back home to help save money to buy a house, and she has the gene where cilantro tastes like soap or whatever it is. And so my recipes that call for cilantro, I no longer will be adding them to the recipe. We will just add them to our individual plates or servings, just because I want her to be able to eat. So the barbacoa and the pineapple pork turned out perfectly. And again, if you don't want to use your crock pot, there are other ways you can cook these, your pressure cooker, your oven, your stove, your grill. Okay, so for the chili, use whatever chili recipe you want. I will show you, hopefully my plan is to do this tomorrow live. That is my plan, but we will see how everything turns out. I think I've got 2 or 3 recipes on my blog. I have a pressure cooker chili. You have one that you have hidden vegetables in it. Just use your favorite. I do add unsweetened cocoa powder to my chili recipe. Years ago, this is something I learned way back when my kids were little. I've even seen recipes where people will put unsweetened chocolate, I cannot think of the word, but a bar, you use like a couple of squares of unsweetened chocolate in there. It does not make it taste like chocolate. It just like intensifies this flavor. So I've already cooked up my hamburger meat. I have not seasoned it at all. I was trying to take care of them, and then I had to go get our church ready for a funeral today. I had my Walmart pickup that my daughter did for the littles. So it's just been kind of crazy, but I did cook up the hamburger meat, and I threw in 1 bag of frozen cauliflower, which is not that much when you have got 4 recipes. I was just trying to give more oomph to the ground beef and get a vegetable in there. And I will not add, okay, tip number 1, always label your bags. Always pre-label your bags. Do not trust that you will remember. I have played that game so many times, and so many things have ended up in the trash. All right, so I've pre-labeled and I've got them open. This is taco ranch. Okay, so chili. So for my chili, I have on here, add a 28 ounce can of crushed tomatoes. But I'm going to add the seasonings. I've got in my, if you watched me, whatever I made this last week, I can't remember. I have some tomato paste left over, so I'm just going to add some tomato paste to each one so the can doesn't just sit in the fridge and go bad. So I'm not going to add the can of tomatoes to this. What I will do is I will go to the grocery store and I will get 4 cans. I think I just need 1 for each recipe. I'll have to double check. And then I'll put on there 4 chili in the freezer. So then I already have everything here for that. So then I can just dump this in the crock pot and then dump in the canned tomatoes. If you want to add your tomatoes to your, hold on Riker, if you want to add the tomatoes to your freezer bag, go right ahead. It just ends up being extra bulky, and then when it thaws, and if you were here for that horrible video that I made where I had pulled out my chicken, put the wrong seasonings on the chicken, there was a hole in the bag with the chicken, and then I had Worcestershire sauce and something else going everywhere all over the floor. It was a hot mess. So if you do get a bag and you have your crushed tomatoes in there, then it's just going to leak out. So for me, I'm going to save space and not have to worry about it leaking out, and then I will have it already bought and in my pantry for my chili. Okay, now the taco ranch chicken. As a THM recipe, this is a complete fuel pull because it's just chicken and seasonings, nothing else. Now you can make this any direction you want. You can make it creamy. You can add a block of cream cheese. You could add a little heavy cream to it. You could add some more cheese to it. You could add cottage cheese to it and go that direction, because if you do the cottage cheese, you're going to still keep kind of the fuel pull family. You could add some beans and corn to it. You can really do almost anything you want, and it's going to be a good recipe for kids. If you are not worried about like feeding kids and you don't really like the idea of the ranch flavor in your tacos, and just make chicken, chicken taco, whatever. I'm sorry, my brain is not keeping up with me. But you don't have to add the ranch. The ranch is just kind of a fun little thing for kids. I really don't have any little kids in my house except for while I'm watching them. I'm not actually going to add the ranch, and I get asked about my ranch. Find the cleanest ranch you feel comfortable eating, or make your own. I have Trader Joe's ranch, and it's not as clean as I thought it was. I also have a ranch that I thought I got from Costco, but it is a Walmart ranch. And the one I got from Costco wasn't as clean as I thought it was. I do not have one on my blog yet, but if you do want a ranch dry that I love, that I go back to all the time, I found one on allrecipes.com. That is my go-to dry ranch if I want to do that. But again, I'm trying to make this as easy as possible. And they even, I've seen where they even, well, I don't know if they still do because I haven't looked, but I know at one point on the dry seasoning packet aisle, they were making a taco ranch seasoning packet. So you can just use that if you want, whatever you're comfortable with. I sometimes adhere to the philosophy of better than. This chicken taco ranch I'm going to make in my house is better than going to Taco Bell and eating Taco Bell, although I do love Taco Bell. Anyway, with this recipe, it's kind of like my firecracker chicken. It is a fuel pull, and then you can go whatever direction you want with that. And so the same with this is it doesn't have the fats or the carbs added, and so then you can go any direction you want. I might do with my barbacoa. I did have a crossover. I made mine into tostadas. But you can, this is just like a versatile recipe that you can go any direction you want. You can even make it into enchiladas. I love enchiladas. I love Mexican food. Anyway, that is it. So hopefully my plan is tomorrow I will have, I don't know how long we're going to have the kids. I don't think that it's going to be an extra long stay. The first birth, she had an extra long stay and had to have blood transfusions and all kinds of stuff. I do think I will have them the weekend though, but I'm going to try and get the rest of the video done. And with my husband being home, if she starts crying, he can help hold her. That is it. And again, I really would love, if you have any thoughts on recipes you'd like to see on the freezer series, or questions about what you can freeze or anything, I would love to help you. I have done back in the day when I didn't even have all 5 kids. I was always doing freezer cooking, and that is how I lived through having 5 kids in 7 years, and homeschool was my freezer cooking. And so this is just something that I love, and it saves my sanity even now that most of my kids are gone. But thank you for watching, and thank you all so much for your prayers. They mean so much to me. My husband, is out working, and then here I was with these and trying to hold it together and not cry when my son-in-law sent me the text. And I'm just so thankful that it seems like everything is looking up. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have thoughts or questions, feel free to share and ask. Bye.